There comes a moment in every person's life when they realize that being nice is not enough, being talented is not enough, and having good intentions is definitely not enough. The world does not reward potential. It rewards execution, it rewards courage, it rewards consistency, it rewards people who are prepared to step into difficult situations and come out stronger than when they entered. That is why today I want to challenge you with a powerful idea. You must become dangerous. Now, before you misunderstand that word, let me explain exactly what it means. Becoming dangerous does not mean becoming cruel. It does not mean hurting people. It does not mean living with anger or arrogance. Becoming dangerous means becoming so capable, so disciplined, so mentally strong, and so prepared that you can handle whatever life throws at you. It means possessing strength while choosing wisdom. It means having the ability to fight but choosing peace. It means becoming someone who cannot be easily broken. The greatest tragedy in life is not failure. The greatest tragedy is weakness that never gets challenged. A weak mind looks for excuses. A weak character waits for permission. A weak spirit hopes someone else will solve the problem. But a dangerous person accepts responsibility. A dangerous person says, if it is to be, it is up to me. Look around at the people who accomplish extraordinary things. They are not necessarily smarter than everyone else. They are not always more educated. They are not always more connected. What separates them is that they developed a level of competence that makes them impossible to ignore. They became dangerous in their field. They mastered skills that the average person refuses to practice. Success is not an accident. Success is the result of preparation meeting opportunity. Opportunity visits everyone eventually. The question is whether you are prepared when it arrives. Most people spend years wishing for opportunities while investing very little in becoming worthy of them. They want promotion without productivity. They want influence without integrity. They want wealth without value. Life doesn't work that way. You become valuable by becoming capable. You become capable through deliberate practice. Every hour you invest in learning. Every difficult conversation you face. Every challenge you overcome is building the version of you that the future requires. Ask yourself an honest question. If the opportunity you've been praying for arrived tomorrow morning, would you truly be ready? Would you have the confidence, the knowledge, the discipline, and the emotional stability to seize it? Or would fear convince you that you're not enough? Confidence is not something you buy. Confidence is earned. It comes from keeping promises to yourself. Every time you wake up when you said you would, confidence grows. Every time you complete a difficult task instead of procrastinating, confidence grows. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, confidence grows. Eventually, you begin to trust yourself. And once you trust yourself, other people begin trusting you too. The world belongs to people who are prepared. Preparation creates power. Power creates options. Options create freedom. Too many people confuse comfort with happiness. Comfort feels good today, but often creates regret tomorrow. Growth usually feels uncomfortable today, but creates confidence tomorrow. Every meaningful achievement requires temporary discomfort. Think about the strongest steel. It becomes strong because it goes through intense heat. Think about a diamond. It is created under enormous pressure. Think about the tallest trees. They withstand violent storms because their roots have grown deep over many years. Nature teaches us a simple lesson. Strength is developed through resistance. If your life has been difficult, perhaps you are not being punished. Perhaps you are being prepared. Every obstacle carries a lesson. Every setback contains hidden value. Every disappointment teaches resilience if you are willing to learn. Most people spend too much time asking, why is this happening to me? Successful people ask, what is this trying to teach me? That single question changes everything. Your problems are often your professors in disguise. When you become dangerous, you stop fearing problems because you understand that every challenge increases your capacity. You begin to see adversity as training instead of torture. Life has an interesting way of testing people before rewarding them. Before you lead others, you'll be tested in loneliness. Before you build wealth, you'll be tested with scarcity. Before you experience success, you'll experience setbacks. Before people believe in you, you'll have to believe in yourself. Those tests are not designed to destroy you. They are designed to qualify you. Imagine someone who has incredible dreams but terrible habits. Every morning they promise they'll start tomorrow. Every evening they wonder why nothing changes. Weeks become months. Months become years. Eventually, they convince themselves that life is unfair. But life isn't responding to dreams. Life responds to habits. Your daily habits are creating your future, whether you realize it or not. If you improve by just 1% each day, those small improvements compound into extraordinary results over time. Do not underestimate consistency. The average person dramatically overestimates what they can accomplish in 1 week and completely underestimates what they can accomplish in 5 years. Become obsessed with improvement instead of perfection. Perfection is impossible. Progress is powerful. One more book, one more workout, one more presentation, one more sales call, one more difficult conversation, one more attempt after everyone else quits. That is where greatness lives. There is another quality that dangerous people develop. They control their emotions. Emotional control is one of the greatest competitive advantages in life. Anyone can remain positive when everything is going well. The real test comes when business declines, when relationships become difficult, when criticism arrives, when plans fall apart. Can you remain calm? Can you continue thinking clearly? Can you make wise decisions under pressure? That is emotional maturity. Your emotions are wonderful servants, but terrible masters. Do not allow temporary feelings to make permanent decisions. The strongest people are not those who never feel fear. The strongest people feel fear and continue anyway. Anyway, courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is action despite fear. Every successful person you admire has experienced doubt. Every entrepreneur has questioned themselves. Every athlete has faced defeat. Every leader has encountered criticism. The difference is they refused to let fear become the author of their future. You also become dangerous by learning to communicate effectively. Ideas change lives only when they are communicated clearly. Learn to speak with confidence. Learn to listen carefully. Learn to ask intelligent questions. Learn to persuade ethically. Communication multiplies opportunity. A brilliant idea trapped inside a silent mind changes nothing. Never stop learning. The day you believe you know everything is the day your growth stops. The most successful people remain students for life. Read books, attend seminars, study experts, practice relentlessly, invest in your mind because your income rarely exceeds your level of personal development for very long. Your greatest investment will never be stocks, real estate, or business opportunities. Your greatest investment is yourself. Nobody can take your knowledge. Nobody can steal your skills. Nobody can remove your character. These assets appreciate for a lifetime. There will always be people who doubt you. Some will laugh at your ambitions. Some will criticize your goals. Some will tell you to be realistic. Remember this. People often judge your future based on their past. Do not allow someone else's limitations to become your reality. Respect everyone. Listen carefully. But make your own decisions. The responsibility for your life belongs to you. No one else wakes up with your dreams. No one else carries your responsibilities. No one else will live with the consequences of your choices. Accept complete ownership. That single decision transforms ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. Excuses are expensive. Every excuse costs confidence. Every excuse delays success. Every excuse weakens discipline. Stop excuses with action. You don't have to know every step before taking the first one. Clarity often comes through movement. Momentum creates motivation far more often than motivation creates momentum. Stop waiting until you feel ready. Most people never feel completely ready. Action produces readiness. The first speech is uncomfortable. The first business is uncertain. The first investment feels risky. The first leadership opportunity feels overwhelming. Do it anyway. Growth always begins outside your comfort zone. Discipline is freedom disguised as effort. When you develop discipline, life becomes easier. You spend less time recovering from bad decisions. You waste less energy battling procrastination. You create positive momentum that carries into every area of life. Imagine becoming the type of person who does what needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. Imagine becoming someone whose word is stronger than their emotions. Imagine becoming so dependable that people trust you with greater opportunities because they know you'll deliver. That is power, that is influence. That is becoming dangerous. Protect your standards. Never lower them to match temporary circumstances. Your standards determine your habits. Your habits determine your results. Rise your standards, and your life begins rising with them. Demand excellence from yourself before expecting it from anyone else. The world changes when individuals decide to become exceptional instead of average. Average thinking creates average results. Exceptional thinking creates exceptional lives. You were not designed merely to survive. You were created to contribute, to build, to solve problems, and to leave things better than you found them. Every day you postpone becoming your strongest self, someone else steps forward and claims opportunities that could have been yours. Time will pass whether you act or not. 5 years from today will arrive with absolute certainty. The only question is who you will become during those 5 years. Will you become stronger or weaker? More skilled or less skilled? More disciplined or more distracted? More courageous or more comfortable? Your future is quietly being shaped by the decisions you make today. So stop underestimating yourself. Stop negotiating with laziness. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Stop hoping that confidence will magically appear before action. Become the person who embraces difficult tasks. Become the person who finishes what they start. Become the person who develops rare skills. Become the person who remains calm under pressure. Become the person who leads by example instead of excuses. Because when preparation meets opportunity, when discipline replaces distraction, when courage overcomes fear, and when responsibility replaces blame, you no longer have to chase success endlessly. Success begins to recognize you because you have transformed into someone capable of creating value wherever you go. That is what it truly means to become dangerous. Not feared because of aggression, but respected because of your character, trusted because of your competence, admired because of your discipline, and unstoppable because you have built a mind that refuses to surrender regardless of the obstacles standing in your path. Once you understand this principle, your entire perspective begins to change. You stop asking, how can I make life easier? And you begin asking, how can I become stronger? That single shift separates people who constantly struggle from those who continually rise, because easier is never the answer. Stronger is always the answer. If every obstacle disappeared tomorrow, you would not become successful. You would become fragile. It is the obstacle that teaches endurance. It is the challenge that develops wisdom. It is the resistance that builds strength. Think about the people who have made the greatest impact in history. They did not wait until conditions were perfect. They acted when circumstances were uncertain. They moved forward while others hesitated. They made decisions while others debated. They accepted responsibility while others searched for someone to blame. The world remembers those who acted, not those who merely intended to act. There is incredible power in becoming decisive. Indecision drains energy. Every day you postpone a decision, you carry its weight in your mind. You replay possibilities. You worry about outcomes. You create stress that serves no purpose. Dangerous people understand that not every decision will be perfect, but they also understand that action creates feedback. Feedback creates improvement. Improvement creates mastery. The person who takes 100 imperfect actions often accomplishes more than the person waiting for one perfect opportunity. You have talents that have not yet been developed. You have strengths that have not yet been tested. You have abilities that remain hidden because you've stayed inside environments that demand very little from you. Comfort hides potential. Pressure reveals it. How many people spend years living far below their capabilities simply because they never challenge themselves? They convince themselves they have reached their limits, when in reality they have barely begun. Your limits are often nothing more than conclusions you accepted without sufficient evidence. The human mind is remarkable. It adapts to whatever standards you consistently set. If you demand very little from yourself, your mind adjusts downward. If you demand excellence every day, your mind begins searching for ways to deliver it. Expectations shape performance. Rock-wire your expectations. Expect yourself to arrive early. Expect yourself to prepare thoroughly. Expect yourself to keep learning. Expect yourself to solve problems instead of complaining about them. Expect yourself to finish difficult assignments even when no one is watching. That is how character is built. Character is what remains when applause disappears. Anyone can perform when everyone is cheering. The real question is, who are you when nobody notices your effort? Will you continue reading after everyone else has stopped? Will you continue training when no competition is scheduled? Will you continue improving when no immediate reward is visible? That is the discipline that creates extraordinary results. Never become addicted to external validation. If your confidence depends upon compliments, then criticism will destroy you. Build internal confidence. Now who you are, now what you stand for, now what your mission is, now what values you refuse to compromise. A person with clear values becomes incredibly difficult to manipulate. One of the greatest dangers in modern life is distraction. Never before have so many people had access to unlimited information while making so little progress. Every notification steals focus. Every unnecessary comparison steals confidence. Every hour spent consuming instead of creating moves you further away from your goals. Protect your attention as if your future depends upon it, because it does. Attention is the currency of achievement. Whatever consistently receives your attention eventually shapes your life. If you constantly focus on problems, your mind becomes skilled at finding more problems. If you consistently focus on opportunities, your mind begins recognizing possibilities everywhere. Train your attention, train your thoughts, train your responses. The quality of your thinking determines the quality of your decisions, and the quality of your decisions determines the quality of your life. You cannot think like everyone else and expect extraordinary results. Average thinking produces average outcomes. Exceptional thinking requires curiosity. Ask better questions. Instead of asking, why am I unlucky? Ask, what skill am I missing? Instead of asking, why is this difficult? Ask, what can I learn from this? Instead of asking, why me? Ask, why not me? Those questions place you back in control. Responsibility is empowering because it returns your power to you. The moment you blame someone else for your future, you hand them control over it. Refuse to surrender that control. Own your decisions, own your mistakes, own your growth, own your success. And most importantly, own your future. Failure should never become your identity. Failure is information. Failure is education. Failure is experience. Failure simply reveals what does not work. Every successful entrepreneur has failed. Every accomplished athlete has lost. Every respected leader has made costly mistakes. The difference is that they refuse to interpret failure as final. Every setback became another lesson. Every disappointment became another adjustment. Every obstacle became another opportunity to become stronger. Remember this whenever life disappoints you. Pain can either educate you or discourage you. The choice belongs to you. Some people become bitter, others become better. The event is often the same, the interpretation is different. Train yourself to interpret adversity as preparation. When life becomes difficult, remind yourself that difficult seasons often produce extraordinary people. Storms strengthen roots. Pressure creates resilience. Challenges produce confidence that comfort never can. You also become dangerous by mastering patience. Patience is not passive. Patience is disciplined persistence over long periods of time. Many people quit because they underestimate how long meaningful success requires. They plant seeds on Monday and expect forests by Friday. Real achievement takes time. Businesses grow over years. Mastery develops over decades. Reputation is earned through countless consistent actions. Do not become discouraged because progress appears slow. Slow progress is still progress. Keep moving. Keep improving. Keep learning. Keep showing up. Eventually, consistency creates momentum. Momentum eventually becomes extraordinary success. There will be moments when you feel invisible. Moments when your work goes unnoticed. Moments when your sacrifices seem meaningless. Those moments are part of the journey. Continue anyway. Greatness is often built in private before it is recognized in public. The audience usually sees the performance. They rarely see the years of preparation behind it. People admire confidence without seeing the countless uncomfortable moments that created it. They admire success without seeing the failures. They admire wealth without seeing the sacrifices. Never compare your beginning to someone else's middle focus on becoming better than you were yesterday. That is a competition you can win every single day. There is tremendous strength in simplicity. Complicated plans often fail because they are difficult to sustain. Simple disciplines repeated consistently outperform complicated strategies abandoned after 2 weeks. Wake up with purpose, exercise your body, feed your mind, complete your most important work first, keep your promises, review your progress, repeat tomorrow. Success often looks ordinary while it is being built. Only later does everyone call it extraordinary. Guard your integrity. Your reputation is built by what people know about you. Your character is built by what you know about yourself. Never sacrifice long-term respect for short-term gain. Money can be recovered. Time cannot. Trust, once broken, requires tremendous effort to rebuild. Become someone whose word carries weight. When you say you will do something, do it. When you make a commitment, honor it. Reliability is rare. Rare qualities create rare opportunities. People invest in those they trust. Leaders promote those they trust. Customers return to those they trust. Relationships deepen through trust. Trust is one of the most valuable assets you can ever build. Another quality of dangerous people is adaptability. The world changes rapidly. Technology changes, markets change, industries change. The people who succeed are not always the strongest or the smartest. Often they are the most adaptable. Stay flexible. Keep learning. Remain curious. Never assume yesterday's methods will guarantee tomorrow's success. Growth requires continual adjustment. If you cling too tightly to old habits simply because they are familiar, you risk becoming irrelevant. Your willingness to learn is more important than your current level of knowledge. Humility accelerates growth. Arrogance slows it. The moment you believe you have nothing left to learn, someone hungrier begins passing you. Stay hungry, stay teachable, stay disciplined. Your future rewards depend upon your present willingness to improve. There is enormous strength in controlling what you consume. Not just food, information, conversations, entertainment, opinions, everything entering your mind influences your thinking. Protect your mental environment. Spend more time with people who challenge you to improve than with those who encourage mediocrity. Your environment quietly shapes your standards. If everyone around you accepts excuses, excuses begin sounding reasonable. If everyone around you values excellence, excellence becomes your normal. Choose your environment wisely. Sometimes becoming dangerous requires changing your circle. Not because you believe you're better than anyone, but because your future deserves an environment that supports growth. You cannot continually plant yourself in negative environments and expect positive results. Choose conversations that inspire action. Choose friendships built on honesty. Choose mentors who challenge your potential rather than protect your comfort. Seek people who ask difficult questions. Seek people who hold you accountable. Must seek people whose lives demonstrate the results you want. Learning from successful people shortens the distance between where you are and where you want to be. Never become intimidated by excellence. Become inspired by it. When you encounter someone operating at a higher level, resist the temptation to envy them. Study them. Observe their habits. Notice their discipline. Learn from their mistakes. Borrow principles. Adapt strategies. Lead them consistently. Success leaves clues for those humble enough to learn. At the same time, remember that your journey is unique. Do not attempt to become a copy of someone else. Become the strongest version of yourself. Develop your own voice. Develop your own strengths. Develop your own leadership style. Authenticity creates influence because people recognize genuine conviction. Pretending to be someone else is exhausting. Living according to your values is empowering. Your greatest competition has never been another person. It has always been the weaker version of yourself. Every morning that competition begins again. Will discipline win today? Or distraction? Will courage win? Or fear? Will responsibility win? Or excuses? Those daily victories determine your destiny far more than dramatic moments ever will. Destiny is rarely decided in one extraordinary day. It is built through thousands of ordinary days lived with extraordinary discipline. Imagine where your life could be if you refused to waste another year. Imagine the books you could finish, the skills you could master, the business you could build, the relationships you could strengthen, the health you could reclaim, the confidence you could develop. None of these possibilities are reserved for a select few. They belong to people willing to pay the price of consistent effort. There is always a price. Everything valuable has one. The price of success is discipline. The price of confidence is preparation. The price of leadership is responsibility. The price of excellence is continual improvement. The question is not whether you will pay a price. The question is which price you will choose, the temporary price of discipline or the lifelong price of regret. Every day you choose between those two currencies. Choose wisely, because years from now you will either thank yourself for the standards you upheld or wish you had started sooner. The future is being built in this very moment with every decision you make, every habit you reinforce, every excuse you reject, and every challenge you choose to face instead of avoid. The strongest, most capable, most resilient version of yourself is not created by accident. It is forged through thousands of moments when you decide that comfort will no longer control your destiny, that fear will no longer dictate your choices, and that your potential deserves to become reality through relentless action, unwavering discipline, and the quiet determination to become the kind of person who is prepared for every opportunity long before it arrives.